If you're stuck, you could be stuck at any point in the process. You have an idea, but you're stuck about how to start it. This book will help. The book's called Stuck, Learn to Love Your Screenplay Again. And it kind of comes from experiences I've had as a writer and also as a teacher, because I've taught courses in screenwriting. My name's Josh Miller. I've worked in the industry as a screenwriter. I've been an independent producer for film and TV. When I decided that screenwriting was the thing I wanted to focus on, I wrote scripts day and night. I took jobs, and I took part-time jobs so I have time to write. I finally got a bite, and I started writing television in Hollywood. So I did some shows down there called Friday the 13th, the series. I did Danger Bay. I did a show called Trial by Jury. I wrote a pilot script. It's called The Genius. We managed to cast Elliot Gould in it. It's a half-hour series for kids. And off the pilot, we got an order from broadcaster that took us to do 4 seasons of the show. I was a showrunner. Showrunner means I was in charge of all the creative. So I worked with all the writers and all the scripts. I rewrote the scripts until they were ready to go. I did all the casting. I did publicity. I hired the directors. I worked with the directors, let them know what the vision of the show was. So that was great. I started out kind of like a lot of people in high school, kind of having these interests, that interest, not really knowing what the career path was. I went into university, took some courses, ended up, English courses were always my best, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I actually was sort of stopped going to school. I worked for a year. It was during that year that, movies were always sort of a place to take a date or go with a group of friends. I started going to them alone. I started going to foreign films, seeing everything. And I studied them to understand how to tell a story visually. That's where it all kind of started out. Yeah, I use a lot of examples in my book because, again, learning from teaching, I would go in and talk about some aspect of screenwriting craft. Great, information received. But unless you kind of see it in action, it doesn't quite penetrate as deeply. On any topic, the more information you have, the better. So I wouldn't tell you not to read another screenplay book. I'd say read all of them, Now, what is specific about mine, other than the fact that it comes from my own experience working in the industry and also teaching, is I've thought a lot about the fact that people do get stuck and how frustrating that is and how difficult it is to figure out what's wrong, how do I get out of this? What do I need to do? What questions do I need to ask? And I think while the other books definitely have fantastic information, I don't think anything is focused specifically on this issue. And the ones that are people who are professional writers now, they hit this all the time. The only difference is they know how to get out of it. And so that's the purpose of my book. If you're stuck, you could be stuck at any point in the process. You have an idea, but you're stuck about how to start it. This book will help. If you're in the middle of it and you're lost and you've written 3 endings and tossed all of them out and don't really know what to do, this book will help you figure that out as well. And I guess the last thing that I would say is sometimes people are stuck on, what is my story about, right? Now, not everybody thinks about that. They just think, I want to write an entertaining, movie, something that I'd want to watch, lots of action. That's fine. But I think it's a richer experience if your story has a point. And so a lot of reasons why people get stuck is they have absolutely no idea what their story is about or what the point is. Well, my book will help you figure that out. Even if you don't know it going in, you'll know it going out.